Good afternoon, Miss Schmidt's class. I'm going to tell you guys a story today, okay? Now, some of you might have heard a variation of this story, and some of you might not have even heard this story at all, okay? Now, the story I'm going to tell you is different than whenever I read aloud a book because I don't have any books with me, and I don't have any props, okay? So you're going to have to picture in your mind what you think that this story should look like, okay? So, the story is called Cactus Soup, okay? A long time ago, in land far, far away, there was a small town named San Miguel. Now, the people of San Miguel were used to having lots of food and being able to take care of each other. But in those days, soldiers would ride through little towns and they would expect for a hot meal and a place to sleep for the night before they went on to battle. So, the mayor of San Miguel found out that there were soldiers headed his way. And so he gathered all of his townspeople together, and all of them together devised a plan. They would hide their food from the soldiers, so that way the soldiers wouldn't eat their food. And so they dug a big hole, and they put all their vegetables in the hole. They shoved their chickens and pigs under the beds. They strung their chiles from the tops of the trees. And they hid their tortillas and their tamales, so that when the soldiers rode through town, the soldiers would think that they didn't have any food. They also tore their clothes up, and they smeared dirt all over their faces to really play the part that they were poor and hungry. So, the soldiers come riding through town, and the captain of the soldiers stops, and he talks to the mayor, and he says, "Oh, fine mayor of San Miguel, my men and I are so hungry. Would you please give us a hot meal and a place to sleep for the night?" And the mayor looked at the captain and said, "But senor, it's not meant to be. I'm sorry, but we have no food. Just look at all of my townspeople. We are poor and hungry and have nothing. The last soldiers that rode through town ate all of our food. And so we just don't have anything for you." And so the captain of the soldiers looked at his men and said, "Men, I think that we should make cactus soup." And the soldiers looked at their captain and said, "Cactus soup? No, we're tired of cactus soup." And the captain said, "Men, cactus soup is good and it will help these people. They are poor and they're hungry. The least we can do is make cactus soup." So the people of the town looked at the captain. They said, "Cactus soup? What's cactus soup?" And the captain said, "I'll show you. Now, I need a couple of things for cactus soup. One is I need a very large, round cooking pot. I need a bundle of firewood. I need a long cooking spoon in which to stir the pot with. And I need one cactus thorn." Now, it's not a little cactus thorn. It's the biggest cactus thorn that you can find. And so he sent the children of San Miguel out into the desert to find the cactus with the largest thorn that they could. And the children came back, and plop, into the soup went the cactus thorn. And so the captain stirred the soup. He lifted the spoon up to his mouth, and he tasted it, and he said, "Yeah, it's okay, but I think it needs a wee smidgen of salt." But why ask for what you don't have? You all are poor. You wouldn't have any salt." The mayor of San Miguel looks at the captain and said, "We are poor, but we're not that poor. I think we might have some salt." And someone from the background said, "And chiles might be good with it." And so the people of San Miguel ran to their houses to get the salt. And they got the chiles down from the trees, and they brought them to the big pot, and they put the salt and the chiles in. And the captain stirred the pot again, and he lifted the soup to his mouth, and he tasted it, and he said, "It's getting there, but I think it would be really good with some onions." Yes, onions would be great." So the mayor looks at the townspeople and says, "Captain, we might have some onions somewhere. I'll send the townspeople to go find them." And someone said, "And garlic would be great too." And so the mayor sent the townspeople to go get the onions and garlic. And so they ran to their homes and they dug up the onions and they brought the garlic and plop into the soup went the ingredients. So he stirred the pot again and he lifted the spoon to his mouth and he tasted it and he said, it's getting there. But what really would be great with this cactus soup is some beans and tomatoes and carrots and fat, big chicken. And so the townspeople looked at each other, and then they looked at the mayor because they didn't know what to do. And the mayor said, people, go home and get beans and tomatoes and carrots and a fat stewing hen. So the people ran to their homes and they dug up the vegetables. And they pulled the hen from underneath the bed, and they came back. And they told the captain, they said, well, you know, we found these, but the beans were old, and so was the chicken, and the tomatoes were rotten, and the carrots were, they were just going bad. And so we really needed to get rid of this. And so, plop, into the soup went the ingredients, and the captain stirred the soup again. And he said, don't you smell that wonderful smell? And the townspeople said, oh, if it smells this good, it must taste fantastic. So the captain takes the spoon, lifts it to his mouth, and tastes the soup again. And he says, it's almost there. But what makes cactus soup really good is some tortillas and some tamales, a big fat roasting pig. But why ask for what you don't have? You all are poor. And so the townspeople looked at the mayor and they said, we'll be right back. And they ran to their houses and they got the pig from underneath the bed. And they went and they got the tortillas and the tamales and they dug them up. And they brought them to the captain. So the captain says, who's ready for cactus soup now? Everybody said, oh, me, I'm ready for cactus soup. And what a fiesta they had. They partied and sang and danced and ate all night long until their bellies were so full they thought that they were going to burst. So the next morning, the captain and his men rode out of town on their way to battle. The townspeople looked at the mayor and they said, Mayor, what happens if the soldiers come back? And the mayor said, not to worry. Everything will be okay as long as we can remember to make